High blood pressure is known as a silent killer because often it doesn't present with any symptoms. So if you do not check your blood pressure regularly, you could be walking around with that extra stress on your heart and not even realize it. That's why I'm going to cover today the basics of checking your blood pressure so you can have that peace of mind that your heart's not being overworked. The beauty of it is you can even check your blood pressure at home. You don't need to go to the doctor's office or the pharmacy, and it's one of the most basic checks you can do that gives you so much information. So let's look at the basics of what makes a good blood pressure monitor. The three topics I'm going to cover are number one, what makes a good blood pressure monitor, number two, how to check your blood pressure at home, and number three, what the numbers mean. First things first, choosing the right blood pressure monitor is key. While wrist monitors might seem convenient, they're not always the most accurate. They can be a little bit finicky. What you want is a device that's endorsed by a reputable health organization like Hypertension Canada. Look for their seal of approval. You don't want a cuff that's too big or too small for your arm. So usually the cuff size is listed on the side of the box. If you purchase it at a pharmacy, they can actually measure your cuff size to make sure that that blood pressure monitor is appropriate for you. Now, before you do check your blood pressure, there are some basics that you do need to cover. Avoid coffee, Coke, or anything caffeine related, as well as smoking or exercising for 30 minutes before checking your blood pressure. Consistency is key, so try to take your readings at the same time each day. Sit quietly for about 5 minutes before taking your reading. Your posture is just as important in taking accurate readings. Sit with your back straight, supported, feet flat on the ground.
Sit comfortably with your arms supported at heart level. Slide your bare arm into the cuff with a tube aligned over the center of your arm. Ensure the cuff is snug but not too tight. You want your cuff to be about 1 or 2 finger breadths above the bend in your elbow. Now you're ready to measure your blood pressure accurately.
Now that you have your cuff on properly, all you need to do is press the button and the monitor will do the rest.
This is an automatic blood pressure machine, meaning that you just push a button and the monitor does the rest. While you're taking your blood pressure, avoid talking, being on your phone, or even watching TV. If you see something exciting on TV, like a police chase, maybe this causes your blood pressure to spike a bit. You should take 3 readings all together and wait about 5 minutes between each reading. The first reading is usually considered the least accurate. You want to take an average of your second and third reading. As you take your reading, you'll notice that the cuff does get quite tight as it's measuring your blood pressure. The top number on the machine is your systolic blood pressure. This is when your heart contracts. The bottom number is your diastolic blood pressure, which is when your heart is resting between beats. Finally, the last number you see here is your heart rate. Resting heart rate is anywhere from 70 to 100.
Like the ideal blood pressure is 120 over 80, but you look at a range between 120 over 130 over 85, 140 over 90 being considered high. If you want more information on your reading, it doesn't hurt to run it by your pharmacist or your physician. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment or shoot me a text.